When's the last time you took a really good hard look at who you really are, right? Because that's where our actions come from. Our actions are, a byproduct of our thoughts and our feelings. And so getting in touch with those things enables you to change them and sort of step into a new identity. Hey, welcome back. It's Rob. I'm happy to be here today. I'm happy that you're here with me. And today I want to talk about signs that you may be ready for a transformation. And it's important to be ready or feel ready before you jump into any kind of endeavor that is designed to make changes, right? You've got to frame mentally the idea that you're looking for ways to improve, and you've got to have kind of some bona fide reasons for that, right? Or else you really kind of lose your motivation early on. And that's a lot of times what stops people from, finishing a project or finishing something that they start that is designed for that sort of personal transformation, because they don't really have a connection as to why. And so it's kind of something to do as opposed to something to gain from. And so if we focus on the gains, then that's going to help us persevere and push through. And so when you are trying to, figure out what the gains might be, a lot of times it helps to look inside yourself and try and figure out, what are some areas where I may feel stuck, right? Where are some areas that I could use some improvement maybe? And maybe you've been told by other people that these are things you need to work on, right? That's always fun. But maybe and hopefully you've come to this realization on your own. Or maybe you're kind of wondering right now. And so this is the reason that you're watching this video, is you're kind of hoping that maybe there's a catalyst in here or a spark. And so I want to talk about my own personal experiences and share them with you, and maybe you will receive some of that information. And these also are experiences that come from working with other people too, things that I've observed. But a lot of this stuff comes from my own personal experience. So one of the signs that I've seen in myself is when I start to micromanage little details. And I find that I am not seeing the forest for the trees, as the expression goes, right? And I'm digging into things that it seems like at first should be moving the needle, but they're really not, because they're little nitpicky kind of things. And micromanaging small details and kind of aiming for that perfection. And that's something that I've had to work hard to overcome in my own life, is my perfectionism, my tendency to hold myself back from doing something because everything's not perfect at that time. And so that tendency to have to wait for things to be perfect, that leads me to micromanage a lot of little details, to try and line everything up just right and get everything in just the right spot and make everything just the right way before I'm ready to commit and before I'm ready to jump into something. And that's, again, something that was difficult for me to overcome, but realizing it and understanding it is one of the things that helped me get there. Another thing that we tend to do, a lot of people tend to do, when they start to lose control a little bit, is make reactive decisions, right, as opposed to proactive decisions. And when you kind of lose your grip on being proactive and taking the initiative, then you kind of tend to start to lose control as well. And control is really kind of one of the big things, one of the big through lines of my life, and I think one of the big through lines of many successful people's lives. When you look at the ultra successful especially, control is a big part of what makes them what they are, and what makes them who they are, and what helps them catapult to the levels that they're at. Controlling their emotions, controlling their state, controlling their actions, controlling their reactions. These are all the things that, when someone talks about a control freak, usually that's used in a negative connotation. I don't mind being called a control freak at all. I am a control freak. I'm okay with that. It doesn't matter to me whether other people think it's positive or negative. I think it's a positive thing. Maybe you do too. So don't worry about that stigma, right? Control is one of the main things that we can do to establish our own assertiveness to live the life that we want to live, right? So don't be afraid of being called a control freak. All right, take control and make proactive decisions rather than reactive. Right. Another thing, another sign, I guess, that you're ready for a transformation is when it feels like you're just getting the same results all the time. You're not really able to move the needle. You have sort of fallen into the same patterns and the same routines, and of course, you're getting the same results, and that's why, right? What is the definition of insanity? The old cliche is the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And I kind of have a smile on my face because I think that's so overused, and I can't even believe I just said it, but it resonates, right? I mean, one of the reasons that these kinds of cliches and these things that we hear that are overused, and we know them so well, is because there's some truth to them, right? And so getting the same results is an indicator that you are doing the same things, right? And a lot of people, I don't think, really frame it that way, and they don't trace back. They just look at the results they're getting and wonder why they can't change it and why they can't move the needle. And if you reverse engineer it, you will often realize that you are doing the same things, and that is why you are getting the same results, right? And there's countless people who talk about the cause and effect principle in the world, right? And one of my favorites and one of my favorite examples comes from T. Harv Eker, who wrote Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. And his book and his program, The Millionaire Mind Intensive, one of the key tenets of that is that the results that you're getting, that you're seeing in your life, it's too late to change them, okay? The results are a byproduct of the actions that you're taking. And the way he puts it poetically is the roots create the fruits, right? And he gives the example of, planting a tree, and you've planted the tree, and when it grows, it's going to produce the fruit that it produces based on the tree that you planted, right? The seed that you planted. It's not going to produce something different. If you want different fruits, you have to plant new seeds, right? And of course, the analogy is if you want different results, you've got to take different actions. You've got to take new actions that you haven't taken before. And so if you're getting the same results, if you're working through the same patterns all the time, if you are finding that you are stuck spinning your wheels, that's a huge indication that you're ready to transform your life by taking different actions and by doing different things, right? Maybe you're using some outdated strategies. Maybe you got caught up in the cycle of this is working, and so I'm going to keep doing this, and it'll work for a while, and then most things have a tendency to sort of run their course, and then they don't work as well anymore. They don't work at all anymore. But if you're still using those outdated strategies, that can really lead to a sense of frustration as well. And so take a look at when's the last time you made some major changes in the things that you do, right? And when's the last time you took a really good hard look at who you really are, right? Because that's where our actions come from. Our actions are, a byproduct of our thoughts and our feelings. And so getting in touch with those things enables you to change them and sort of step into a new identity, what I call the you 2.0 version of yourself, right? And then your you 2.0, once you get to that point and you've lived into it, becomes your new baseline. And then pretty soon, it's time to step up into another U 2.0, which if you wanted to get technical, I guess you could call it U 3.0, but I don't. That would get way too confusing. There's so many times that I've reinvented myself and stepped into a new identity and helped other people do that as well. So I just call it U 2.0. But that is, again, something that we can do to take action and move the needle because it is new. It is something different than what we've already done, right? And the other thing that is a key sign, a key indicator that you are ready to embark on a transformative journey and by design, right, move into a new you, is when you're starting out strong on a project and then you're not finishing, right? And you have numerous unfinished projects or unfinished endeavors or whatever you want to call it. And there are these things that you start and then don't finish. And that lack of will to finish it, that lack of ability to finish it, whatever it may be that's holding you back, that really comes down to building momentum for yourself each day. And if you're not consistent about it, and if you're not staying after it every day, and I talk about playing the long game a lot, this is where momentum comes in. Momentum can be created, but it takes a while to create momentum in the first place in our lives. It's not like a sport where in a basketball game the momentum can change frequently, or in a football game or something, and you as a fan you sense the momentum changing and the players sense it too. And I'm an athlete and I played a lot of sports, so I know, and you probably are too, a former athlete maybe. You know, a lot of us that are in performance-based careers are former athletes or played sports and competed, and so you know that momentum shifts, right? But you can create momentum in your life, and you can create those shifts. The problem is that most of us just give up too soon because we don't see the momentum shift happening, and so we figure it's not doing anything, whatever it is that we're trying to accomplish, we're not getting closer to it, and we give up or we back off, and pretty soon those new habits go by the wayside. You can't let that happen. Not if you want to make big changes in your life and accelerate and create big things for yourself. And speaking of accelerating, I want to invite you to join my 3-day intensive Performance Accelerator. It is 100% free, and it is my gift to you for being a part of this community and being here. You can go pick it up at the website. It's www.yoursoulsource.com. And in the Performance Accelerator, we go through all this stuff. Day 1 is all about control and finding your sense of control, right? And day 2 is almost all about you 2.0. And there's some other exercises in there, and there's some other exercises in day 1 as well. And then day 3 is where we build momentum. And there's a customized plan that you develop. That's your 30-day momentum calendar. And all those things and much more are a part of that package. So if you are feeling ready and you want to take a shot at transforming your results and your life and moving to the next level, then I encourage you to get over to the website and sign up for Performance Accelerator, because it is a game changer. And it's not just something that I put together through theory. It is something that I not only are, the exercises are practical exercises that I've developed or that I've picked up, but I also, once I created it, put myself through my own course. And there's a slight bias there because I kind of know what's up with it, but it still is helpful, and it still was helpful for me, and I know it'll be helpful for you. So if you're already involved in Performance Accelerator, drop a comment and talk about what it means to you and what you're doing. What day are you on? Did you complete it already? That kind of thing can motivate others, and it certainly motivates me to know what's working and what's not, and then I can make some changes to the Performance Accelerator program if needed. So that's helpful for me as well. So again, if you're ready, I invite you to join me and make this transformation. And if you're not quite ready yet, watch this video again. Or watch some of the others, or do something else to get away from it and kind of let this stuff stew in your subconscious, and eventually you will be alerted to the fact that you're ready. Your body, your mind will alert you to the fact that you are ready, and I'm here for you when you are. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me, and I want you to always remember, excellence is a decision. It's time for you to decide. So long.
I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.